oh my god, at this point, S-Death is even more broken than we originally thought. Like, how the hell, like, can you stop this bitch? And I like how this chapter of Akame ga Kill was literally called, yes, kill S-Death. Good fucking luck with that, because we know full well that's near an impossible task, and how everyone is talking about taking down this bitch like that. It doesn't seem like it's gonna be working too much. Oh, and by the way, Tatsumi just magically became a dragon as well. It's just off the side and all that. After using Incursio so many times at this point, he's generally just turned into a dragon, and I absolutely love that that's not the main priority right now. It's like, no, S-Death's really the big problem right here. We can kind of deal with the dragon being here, and I absolutely love that. And also as well, bright, like, fucking wonderful news, everybody. All the stuff I'm talking about is original material, and this is something I really liked a lot about this chapter, because one, it was actually awesome for the most part and all that, like seeing like Akame and S-Death fight to the death, and she's all bloodied up and fucked up, like blood everywhere, like on her face and all that. It's like barely able to keep up with S-Death, and like the fact that they have to use like all these Tegu users, have like 100,000 soldiers and all that to actually deal with this bitch. It's like, this is how we've got to do it, and it's the fact that it's like, all we're seeing right now is that Tatsumi can't help. Tatsumi can't do anything right now. He's generally just become a dragon, and he's uncontrollable, and it's like, he can't do anything. And it's interesting to see that whilst that's happening, like, we're actually getting like 3 perspectives. We're getting to see the Akame perspective, like, to get to see, like, you know, like Tatsumi dragon perspective, and then also as well, we're seeing like Wave's perspective at the moment, where he's actually generally flying off and saying like, hey, I've got one more thing and all that, like, you know, like to show off where I'm at, like what I'm made of and all that after everything. And it's just like, so I'm kind of interested in like what now like Wave is exactly going to be doing, like right at the end. Like, he definitely has some sort of plan, and it like it definitely shows that he cannot really do too much anymore and all that, since like if he actually dispels his Tegu now, it will be like a couple of days before he even has enough stamina. And that kind of feels like, since we've been seeing those people kind of like wandering around in the woods, like kind of like sneaking about, where it's like, yeah, like it generally looks like, for the fact of this thing, you know, they're kind of wandering around, and it's like, if like he dispels that, and like, you know, we actually had this kind of tragic thing with made that happen with like Kurome at this point and all that, that seems like where it's definitely going to be going. And just like, we just took the fact that like Nagenda gets all these people around to fight S-Death, and she generally gets all of her Ice Warriors like army just to return, like all her power just comes back to it, and she just decides to do and all that. I've been like building up some power for the past couple of days and all that from my Ice Cavalry, and I'm just gonna send all the power straight at once by using this technique known as the Ice Storm Commander, where she makes the entire continent snow of like, saying like, you know about this Russian winter and all that, and a massive portion of this country is now covered in ice and snow, and it just will not kill you just here, but every single person in the land and all that is gonna pretty much die. And it's like, the one thing is like, she is near unstoppable at this point, and it's just like going here where it's just like, she is just that generally crazy now at this point, where like she just doesn't care for the repercussions, like, and finally it's very weird on that we're not really get that too much of an explanation at S-Death, but my god, she is just getting so. May I remind you, this bitch is fighting Akame and 100,000 people right now. She can create an ice army, she can also as well make ice meteors, she can freeze time, she can fly, she has insane swordsmanship. Like, this bitch is insane. Like, generally S-Death is like getting more and more and more OP throughout every time we see her. This bitch, she is absolutely nuts. She is like, properly can be said she's a female Madara Uchiha, but with ice. It's like, generally when we see like even the Tegu users, which was the only negative I had in the chapter, was like generally last minute it was like, oh look at all these brand new Tegu users that came out, and they're like, wow, these guys generally look like they were cut from the fucking manga. That's generally what these guys look like, that they were gonna be like some part of the series where they were gonna be like, yeah, look at these new guys that we got, and it's like, no, straight up, these look like guys that just got fucking shilled out of the manga. It's like, no, that's not gonna happen, and all they've been used for is like, oh yeah, just so that S-Death can absolutely destroy them and just molest them, and she's just there going shiver and freeze and beneath the storm of my power, like, come at me. And it's like, it's scary. And the fact that they're having like Akame, where it's like, maybe the best way to go against this is that you're gonna have to use a special drug and all that to actually enhance yourself, which, you know, it kind of sets up what like exactly what the anime was doing, where she had to like cut herself with like her sword kind of to give her this huge power up. But instead, like, what this is gonna do is like pretty much after a while it's gonna like chill her like senses, and like it isn't gonna be as strong as it used to be, like because of the potencies of like this drug. So I'm generally looking forward. Like this was probably the best Akame chapter we've had in such a long time, and it's like mainly for the fact that, yeah, it focused on S-Death, and S-Death is fucking a badass bitch, and I love her. Like, I absolutely genuinely enjoy every time she's on the screen, and it kind of brought me up to, like, a little bit back to faith and all that, saying, like, Akame can, like, generally, like, get some real good content out there like that, but now, like, it feels like, no, this is where I wanted to take the story. This is what I wanted to do with it, and it's like, generally, that's what the anime did. The anime ruined a lot of it, whereas, like, the manga just keep doing the same material, and now it's like we're getting some fresh stuff right at the last end, as we've like generally got probably like 3 or 4 chapters left of the series and all that after everything. But I'm generally looking forward to seeing, like, you know, where this finale is definitely going to be going and all that. We only know that we've got such a set few chapters left and all that for the series. But let me know, you guys, think in the comment section down below what you think is going to be happening in like the last couple of chapters of Akame and all that, like how you think this is going to address and all that. But that's all from me, so thank you much for watching as always and all that, and I'll see you guys though in a bit.